Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming to another cast of NGS Heroes of the Storm. Let's get my camera fixed there a little bit. Hopefully this time around my audio is much better than it was. Camera's still off. This stream is still a work in progress, so bear with me, and I hope you still enjoy the cast. These games should be pretty good. These are actually Division E games, so they could be pretty interesting. I know that they are. This division is at the bottom of the league, so they just tend to want to have as much fun as they can, and it can often result in some interesting stuff. But there's also people that are doing some standard drafts as well, but we have no idea what we'll be getting out of these games. Alright, so tonight we are looking at YCMYCAST3 RevengeOfYavapai. I am not really sure what that means. And when I talked to their leader, the first thing he said was good luck saying our name, so I hope I did it justice. But anyway, so I'll be referring to them as RevengeOfYavapai because that's better what fits, or Yavapai. And then the other team is One More Fight. They are currently, I believe, One More Fight is standing in rank 3, and Yavapai is standing in rank 7. Out of 7 teams, I believe. That is what I put in my notes, so that's what I'm going with. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Also, I appreciate all sorts of updates. But before we get into the games, let's talk a little bit about NGS. They are a group of amateur Heroes of the Storm players. I say amateur because there is no pro scene anymore, so this is most of the best action that we get to see from competitive Heroes of the Storm. You can find them at nexusgaming.org. And find all the different teams, see different casts. There's a lot of great and wonderful people there. If you can catch any of their streams while they're casting, it's a pretty good shows. Alright, so tonight we actually have a replay cast, which means that the teams aren't actually going to be playing live, and I'm just going to be looking over everything so they can get this stuff recorded. This also means that I do not have things like the draft, so we're just going to go straight into the games, and we are... I don't know which teams picked which map, but I'll just mark it with the left team just so that you can see that the map was picked. Speaking of which, why don't we go on over there? So as you can see here, we have the map picks and bans, and oh my goodness, I did not check this for streams. I did not notice how broken it is. Oh man, there's so much stuff that you need to set up for these things. Well, suffice to say, I'll let you know, Dragonshire Braxis Holdout was banned by Yavapai, and Towers of Doom and Cursed Hollow was banned by One More Fight. So, which one is broken? Infernal Shrines is broken. I bet I could fix that real quick. Nope, not a quick fix. Oh well. Not gonna waste time trying to fix that, but because it's definitely not the team has won yet. I wonder if I just clear maps. Ooh, oh, here we go. This might work out better. Apologies for the unprofessionalism. It is part of why I decided to start with replays first, so that I could get used to streaming and casting. Towers, Cursed Hollow, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Hey, there we go. All right, we are working now. Okay. Alright, so these are the map choices, so let's go ahead, and now that we've gotten all that fixed and already talked about it, we'll just go straight into the game anyway. Alright, and my game's not showing up. I know I checked this one. Oh, there it is. There it is. I know I checked that one. I don't know what happened there. It's definitely offset now, too. Oh my goodness. Hello? Streamlabs, please let me control this. Oh, it's locked. Yeah, okay, that's as good as it's gonna get. Alright, so game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. On the left side for Team YCMYCAST3, we have Andrade on the Arthas, Blue Space Hat on the Jaina, Aura Luna on the wow, he's my favorite character, Anduin, Shansi B9 on the Rainer, and Mega Milk on the Leoric. Meanwhile, on the right side, on Team One More Fight, we have Midnight Fire on the Brightwing, Newton Rocks on the Vala, Echo on ETC, Hellstorm on the... is that the Li Ming? Yes, the Li Ming. And then we have Mistelin... whoa. Mistelinine. I am so sorry for butchering these names. On the Rexar. Okay. So, in Tomb of the Spider Queen, we generally see teams rotate top and mid, and as I'm talking about this, we're getting some action already. Jaina is already very chunked by this Li Ming. She actually took the teleport Aetherwalker on one, so that is interesting to see what she can get out of there. But as I was saying, they totally rotate between top and mid. Very aggressive onto this Jaina again, and we have to use the pull, but is the Vala going to get the kill? She does actually get the kill with the Q. It does end up getting her one more time for that final bit of damage needed. One more fight already, starting this match off pretty strong. So it looks like these teams are actually going pretty serious with these drafts. Oh no, the Rainer's in a bad spot, but he managed to get out of there okay. The Arthas is doing some massive damage to this Brightwing. Yeah, as you see, the teams are just rotating top and mid to collect all of these gems. They got to turn them into these points in the bottom and center of the middle of the map. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of damage on the Arthas as he ends up going down. That polymorph into the slide was just way too much for him. He could not take it. This explosive damage between the Vala and the Li Ming, you get quite a bit of poke until it's just way too much. And the Rainer's caught out as well, and this Li Ming and Vala are on top of him, not letting him a chance to breathe, following up on every bit of it. It's CC from ETC. So it looks like YCMYCAST3 is trying to safely soak, but it's not going too well. One More Fight has full control of the turn-ins up here. Oh my goodness, Jaina takes so much damage again. Like I said, the DPS is just watching their ETC, and every time he slides, ETC normally cannot be sliding in like that. He usually has to slide either downward, upward, or backwards to be a safe one. But he's been able to go in, not getting punished at all, and his team is just following up on that damage so well. So it looks like Team YCMYCAST3 is trying to safe soak a little bit more. Let's see what we've got going down bottom. We don't really have too much to say here. It's probably just going to be a lot of trading back and forth. The Rexar may have some difficulties because of mana issues, but it looks like it's going to be pretty even there. Got another big engage here, this time onto the Vala, a good root follow-up by the Jaina Blizzard, but he's taking a lot of damage now. He slid and pushed back, and that is another kill for One More Fight. Already 3 kills to none. Not even able to get any of these trades. They're getting a lot of damage in, but it just is not enough to kill, and the the one more fight seems to just reset and then heal up and go back in and do the same thing once everybody's cooldowns are back. So let's see, they're getting really close to a turn-in as well. Nobody has been going for camps at all, so there isn't that extra bit of pressure that they could be putting in. They may just go for the camp to, yeah, look, Vala's getting ready to start the camp now because they want to prep that camp in order to make it easier for them to get their turn-in. But it looks like Jaina's actually going to be dropping a lot here and actually is enough to get that first turn-in. Oh no, it was actually interrupted. They managed to turn in before she got her gems even in. So that was actually really well timed, and they're even going to push with the camp this time instead of prepping for it. So they're actually in a really good spot here. They have the top wave pushed up really far, so that's not going to do a whole lot. It's already spawning up near the towers, and the team's on it, but the middle lane is the one that's really going to take a lot of the beating because of that empowered camp. This is a lot of minions on the wave too. They are already through the tower, and there's barely even any damage on this web weaver. This is going to be a massive 14-1 more fight. Jaina's trying to clear up as much as she can. Oh, thank you for that follow, Ewok Thor. I appreciate it. Looks like they're going to be cleaning this up. One more fight, managed to get that tower, the middle fort, and is now pushing the top towers in order to get that bit of extra experience. And it looks like YCMYCAST3 is just fine with safe clearing and not carrying and letting them have whatever they want. And oh, it does not look like it was enough to get that tower, but she is going back in. They did manage to snipe it off with a Lee Ming Q and Bright Wing Q. It looks like they're going to be pressuring bottom camp while they believe they can assume that they're on their bruiser camp. Alright, let's see if they can get this pressure with this camp to allow for them to have a turn-in. They've got another stall here. We're not able to follow up with the extra CC. They do have that camp pushing. Vala is starting to clear it now, and that's another big orb onto the Jaina, taking a lot of damage. Trying to push in their own, and it looks like they are going to be able to clear this camp up without allowing for that turn-in into the middle. A very good, strong defense by one more fight. We'll see if Vala can... Oh, they're going to be actually ganking the Rexar, and he is not getting out of that. There was nothing he could do there. A lot of damage is going into this Rainer, though, but it's just going to be healed up and poke damage. It looks like we're just getting a big wave in mid, clearing up there. It doesn't look like they want to push anymore. A lot of gems are already being dropped for Team One More Fight, and they have enough for another turn-in already, but it looks like it's going to be Team YCMYCAST3 or Yavapai. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. They clearly made that name just to get people that have trouble saying it. I'm sure this is a good inside joke as well. So looks like middle is not going to get a whole lot of value because that's already pushed up so far. But this top wave, if they're lucky, they could get a fort, but it's going to be bursted down pretty fast. The wave is already gone. Maybe it won't even get these towers. This is going down super fast. YCMYCAST3 is trying to get as much in as possible. They're actually going to lose the Arthas here. Oh my goodness, the damage doesn't go in, and the Android could not save him in time. So like I said, they did not even get any of the towers. Nope, minion ends up getting pulled. We do have the middle wave still pushing in, and it looks like bottom wave didn't get any towers either. This is a very, very unfortunate Webweaver wave. They basically reset the lanes with that, and it's not even a late game Webweaver, so this is not looking good for YCMYCAST3. This is going to be another turn in for team One More Fight. Let's see what they can do with it. They're feeling pretty strong, and they're grouping up, getting ready to push that top lane. Top lane is going to be a pretty strong lane to win with because of that boss pressure that you can add onto it. And they're already sieging into this tower, and this Webweaver is about to come down. But that's a huge root from the Arthas, not enough follow-up damage, and he's actually getting chunked himself. This Vala Li Ming combo is just doing so much damage, and they are having a lot of struggles dealing with it. So it looks like they're going to be sieging here, getting a lot of damage in from that Webweaver and trying to take down as much as they can. ETC going for another aggressive slide into that Arthas. I don't think the Arthas understands that ETC is not scared to go in. Most ETCs that slide in like that would get punished really hard, but they are not able to do anything about it. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, they're still going back and forth. Brexar seems to have managed to push down the tower walls, but it's just kind of a battle back and forth. And meanwhile, in mid lane, they're also getting a huge amount of value there. All of that free XP from those towers. They're trying to get in as much experience off of the top towers as well, but it looks like they're not going to get it. They are going to rotate in. This is a huge wave. They could easily take down this keep. And while the top keep would definitely be the better one in this to get out of this, the middle keep is going to be useful too, because it'll just continuously put on that pressure and try to push out waves to control the middle area for the turn-ins. So it looks like the team is now going down bottom to help try to push this in as well. They're actually close to yet another Webweaver wave. They're going to be dropping 14 gems there and starting their camp. Unfortunately, Leo was not able to scout that out in time, so they were able to get away with it pretty free. It's going to be trying to drop in now, but they're not going to be letting him. Jaina does finally drop that massive amount of gems she's been holding on to this whole time. They only need 5 more for their own Webweaver wave, but they need to get the map pressured and situated to not have another situation as that last one. But the Leoric is in a lot of trouble here, and that is a huge mosh, but that's also a huge Anduin ult to protect everybody in it. But is it enough to get them out? It is. They get the Misha kill and are able to save the Leoric, and they're looking to get more out of this. It is now a 5v4 fight. Oh, and the Arthas is in trouble again, but he does manage to get out and survive. It is an even talent tier fight, and oh my gosh, there we go. That is the follow-up that Arthas has been waiting for this entire time. That's so much damage to the Brightwing and ETC. Now Rexar is in a lot of trouble here as well, and oh my gosh, he goes down with Arthas nearly getting taken out himself from that Li Ming orb. So now they finally have this Webweaver wave, and they're just going to use it to clear out these waves. See if they can get anything with it. Hopefully they can at least get these front towers down and open up the map a bit more. Red team actually manages to finally kill that bottom fort, so even though it's a blue Webweaver, the blue fort is the one that ends up going down. One More Time is definitely trying to take advantage of this 16 talent tier and pressure the YCMYCAST3 off of as much as they can get. This is a huge wave up top though, and it looks like they may be able to push down this fort. This is going to help them out a lot. As I said, it's very important to control this top area because that is where the boss is. And it looks like they do manage to get it, and they back off with nobody going down. This is starting to look a lot better. They did get middle towers as well, so they can start pushing that in. They're anchoring for their Rainer, but it looks like if Misha was there first, he could have been in a lot more trouble. And oh my goodness, the ETC actually gets stunned stuck in that root and slows forever. Oh, but then the return onto the Leoric, and Jaina's not looking good either. She's going down as well. My goodness, just when you think YCMYCAST3 has the advantage, that they blew so many cooldowns getting that ETC that they didn't have anything for the fight, and it looks like Team One More Fight is already pinging the boss, and they are in fact going to be starting this up. They're going to try to burst it down as fast as possible. Poor Misha got stunned. Get that micro. She can take it though, she's a beefy bear. So looks like YCMYCAST3 probably knows that they're on boss already. It is, however, too late, although they almost didn't pick up the boss, and Leoric tries to go in to steal it, as does the Arthas, but it was just a bait, and he gets stuck in there and can't get out. Leoric does manage to get himself out with his little ghosty form, but this is another boss going in, and they are about to turn in their web weavers. It would have been nice if they could have timed it better, but which is probably why they didn't get on the capture point right away, but as soon as they saw that it was about to be invaded, they couldn't wait any longer. We'll have to practice getting that boss web weaver turn in that is so difficult on this map. It seems easy and which should make sense, but it's very hard to execute as a coordinated team. So it looks like they are getting a lot of damage into this keep, and they are going to stick around to try and see if this web weaver can finish it off. They do have a web weaver down bottom, but it looks like Leoric is going to be taking that up. The middle web weaver doesn't have a keep to go to, so that is going to be going straight onto core. We'll see if that can do any damage there. This web weaver is getting chunked though, so it doesn't look like... Oh, but that's a huge slide, and Arthas is in trouble yet again. He just cannot get out of there. If the Anduin doesn't pull him, he's just kind of screwed in those situations. He gets stunned and pushed back way too far to get back to his team. And with that kill, they do feel confident enough to be able to stick around and take out that keep. So now that is 2 keeps down. Bottom web weaver was dealt with before it did any real damage onto that bottom keep, but bottom is going to have some difficulties actually being used for finishing the game. The red team is not looking to go through there. They have 2 keeps down up top. And it looks like they're going to be taking the siege camp. They're going to be taking the bruiser camp as well, while Team YCMYCAST3 is staying grouped together, as they seem to be quite afraid of the other team. They have managed to get quite a few kills themselves. Ever since level 10, they've been able to trade fairly evenly. Yorick is going to get another drop here, but they do not have enough, even close to enough for their own web weaver turn-in. Rexar is going to be looking to do the same, dropping his 21. We do have a siege camp here, so it looks like they are actually interested in pushing this down, just trying to get as much map pressure on the map everywhere that they can. And it looks like Arthas may actually be caught out here. He's in a lot of trouble. He's actually going to be going the other way and getting zoned completely off by the rest of his team. ETC manages to keep everybody away and wasn't even allowing the Anduin to go in to save him. Was quite unfortunate positioning for him, and it looks like Leoric may be suffering the same fate here. He does manage to get his ghost form off, and barely gets away with his life. He is going to be going back to heal from that one. But that just means that with all of this frontline pressure gone, the Team One More Fight is allowed to step up wherever they want. Another big orb onto this Li Ming. Off of this Lumen onto the Janus. So now the bottom keep is even opened up. The Team One More Fight is actually getting close to their web weaver wave as well. They should be able to get it with this next wave or 2. Looks like it's going to be 3 actually. Oh, they do have some gems out still. They're definitely going to be looking to take this one. We'll see what happens around this bruiser camp. Looks like they are going to be taking it and trying to prevent them. They do now have enough gems for a web weaver wave of their own, but they'll have to see if they can survive this one before they can try looking for a comeback. Arthas is getting really slowed again and is again in a lot of trouble, but the Lork does come back with the massive level 20 ult. He does survive because of the Anduin, and they do end up getting out of there. Vala's now finished her quest, and that is a dead Jaina on the back end. Got so separated from the team. This is happening a lot. They are team One More Fight is controlling all of these fights, getting everybody separated where they don't want to be. And that is still so much damage going out. They are not letting up, and oof. Ooh, there goes another dead Arthas, and Rainer's looking in trouble too. ETC even goes for the slide under the keep. And it looks like that's going to be it for game number 1. Team 1, GG's, Team One More Fight. Congratulations. All right. Very good first match, I would say. It was not completely one-sided. YCMYCAST3 did get some good trades there and were able to fight back pretty well, but unfortunately they just did not have control of the map at any point in the time. Every single one of their web weavers just went down to either being bursted too quick, or they weren't able to step up and get value with those web weavers. Meanwhile, Team One More Fight was able to push for everything, every advantage every time. So let's update that. We now have 1 point for Team One More Fight out of our best of 3. We may have 2 more games unless Team One More Fight can close it out here. And we will find out where we are heading next. Wasn't any too crazy drafts there. Brightwing is not normal healer, especially very interesting pick for the Tomb of the Spider Queen, since it's such a small map. At that point, you're just phase shifting for your healing. It's not even for the global value. It's very interesting. I would like to have seen that draft. I wonder if that they are just really comfortable on the Brightwing, or if there was maybe a healer choke of some sort. It's definitely possible. Alright, so we are now loading up game number 2. And it looks like we are going to Infernal Shrines. Let's go ahead and get in the Between the Games page. Oh, one thing I forgot to do was talents. I don't normally, I really want to try to get into looking at talents and damage at the end of games more, looking at the scoreboards. I could bring that up real quick, but I'm already in the other game, so. So as you can see from the graphic here, Tomb of the Spider Queen was the first map. It was won by Team One More Fight. A fairly controlled win. I wouldn't say dominant, but definitely a controlled win. They never let up of that pressure. We'll see if they can do the same here. This is actually another map that you can do a lot of the similar kinds of things with it. It has a lot of that 2-lane rotation with the ignore the third lane. However, the Tomb of the Spider Queen, you don't normally ignore it as much as they did in this last match because the lanes are so close. But in Infernal Shrines, the lanes are a little bit further away. But in here, we have Skeletor Defenders and a centralized objective, so it's not as just kind of controlling of the map as important as Tomb. However, so there's going to be a lot of extra big objective fights. So we'll see how the teams adapt to this. And without further ado, let's get into the game. So game number 2 on Infernal Shrines. So this time on the side of Yavapai, Andrade on the Diablo, Blue Space Hat on the Li Ming, Aura Luna on the Alexstrasza, Shank B9 on the Phoenix, and Megu Milk on the Kira. This is actually a Kira solo lane. How interesting. And then on the right side, we have Team One More Fight. Midnight Fire on the Lily, Hellstorm on that Jaina, Newton Rocks on the Rainer, and Echo again on that ETC with also Mr. I am so sorry. Mistel Tien. That's what I'm going with. Mistel Tien on that Rexar. Ends up getting a quick stun there onto there. Shouldn't send me to the Shadow Realm. Wonder if that's a D&D reference. So it looks like we're going to be starting off here in the beginning, just clearing up that wave and starting their rotations, getting that Globes quest started. We do have Globes for both Jaina and ETC quests. So they're going to be looking to go top and mid as much as possible to get those. And Jaina agrees for that, but she does end up getting saved by an aggressive ETC slide. He is getting chunked down by this Phoenix. It looks like he's putting a lot more focus on it now. We'll see what's going on up in this top lane, and it looks like there's actually a lot of damage going into this. Oh my goodness, and the mana is almost gone for the Rexar, and he is getting in trouble. It's actually very one-sided for the Kira. We'll see how that ends up going. We do have Phoenix taking the bot camp. Meanwhile, the rest of the team on One More Fight is taking the mid camp. Starting to get that pressure going. ETC with another aggressive slide, seeing if he can get this Diablo out of place, but it is not going to do enough. He is too tanky, and follow-up heal from the Alexstrasza just keeps him there. That is going to give them pressure in the lane, though, and push them off so that they can get their globes and start their rotations. Unfortunately, they did miss one right there. So looking back up here, we have Rexar. Misha is not looking good, but now Kira is at least chunked to half. Let's see how that trading continues to go. She does miss a Q there, so... Oh, she does actually... I just missed it. I saw the D go in as I was clicking away, and she manages to get the kill on the bear. But we do have another threatening team fight down here, but it looks like they are going to opt to just go into the waves knowing that they are already on this camp. Andre is trying to anchor for them to protect them. They are going to get that without any problems. This is a pretty big wave being pushed in, but it looks like they don't want to care about it. They're just going to keep the rotations up and start getting that top bruiser camp. Jaina is going to be going very aggressively against this Phoenix for that globe. Both teams getting ready for this top objective. This is the shrine that I was referring to, that you'll see some skeletal defenders spawn onto there, and you'll have to kill 30 of them to get the Punisher. And it looks like they're getting a fairly good start on this on Team Yavapai. It looks like Team One More Time is going to be trying to push in with this Merc camp as much as they can, but Phoenix quickly clears up that camp, or the wave, so the camp doesn't have as much to push with. The Rexar actually gets into some trouble there, and Misha ends up going down for his sins. No, she actually gets away from it. Oh my goodness, that Li is OP. Heals on the bear. So that's an Alexstrasza popped, and they're still going to go in anyway, and it looks like Diablo is stuck there, but he is still a tanky boy, and he is going to be fine for now, but he is going down. He did end up finally going down, could not get into that cube, but how much did they have to spend for it? Oh my goodness, these Ming orbs, and there's just so many assassins on the side of Team Yavapai that these team fights are heavily going into their favor. This Kira pick is doing wonders for them in this off lane. So it looks like they're planning on not pushing with it. The first Punisher can actually get a lot of low value and actually almost kills the Jaina. She doesn't drag the Punisher over quite right, and almost dies for it. But it looks like they are going to get both the towers, which is about as much as you can hope for with that. Meanwhile, they're pushing in bottom lane, going after this Rexar. He's actually taking a lot of damage, is getting chunked. They did manage to get this middle fort walls as well, so they did get quite a bit out of it map-wise. But they didn't get a full fort, and they are barely an experience lead. They are getting all of the camps to extenuate that map pressure, though. Looks like we could have a potential team fight here coming up. Meanwhile, we've got Q build on. Oh, that's ETC's getting pushed in, but he's able to slide out of there just fine. Q build on Alexstrasza. You've got a Calamity on Li Ming. Some got the alternating shots for Arsenal Synergy off of the Phoenix. Pretty standard builds all around, I'd say. Kira's not going for the W build. She's actually going for a more basic attack build, which kind of makes sense for that off lane with that sustain, even though I would think that your E build, or the bleed build, I think that's W maybe, usually has more self-healing. Looks like the Team Yavapai is getting the this Bruiser camp a little bit early, trying to get that map pressure going to top, possibly going to push down the tower. No, it doesn't look like it. Team One More Fight sees that they're up top and goes in to invade on this camp, but they were not able to succeed in getting that, but they did almost take out the Kira and forced out a Diablo ult. It looks like they're not done yet, so they're going back in. Kira is taking a lot of damage here, and she ends up going down, and it looks like they're going to actually take that and walk with it, and come back in. Now that there's a person down, Diablo's in a lot of trouble here as well. He does manage to walk out, but that is a free camp for Team One More Fight. They did get that Bruiser camp earlier on Team Yavapai, and it's getting close to taking down this fort, but Rexar is going to be there in time to save that. Meanwhile, they have a huge wave pushing with them in bottom lane, and they're going to take down the towers with this. Phoenix is trying to get ready for the flank, but he's not sure if he actually wants to take this. ETC is just zoning them out, trying to keep them out, but that slide actually opens up the Jaina to getting a lot of damage as well, but she gets out just fine, almost chunking the Phoenix, but manages to only just barely go through that shield. And now we do have that objective up, with the waves being almost completely even on both sides. No team has any significant map pressure, and that's unfortunate that the bear goes down here, because that's going to give Team Yavapai the incentive to go in and get as much advantage on this camp or this objective as possible. ETC is getting ready to zone, but that's an Alex ult already, so it looks like they're going to take it and go in anyway. That's a huge slide onto the Diablo, but the mosh pit gets interrupted. So many ults going out. APOC comes out as well, so stunning a lot of the members, and up goes the dragon to try to heal up and sustain the team. Li Ming's in a lot of trouble here, but then the ET's aggressive slide. This is exactly what I was talking about, trying to punish that. Bear goes down yet again. It's unfortunate. Oh, and that's a lot of damage onto that ETC, but that blind tells Kira that she needs to get out of there. This fight is going back and forth, both teams throwing out so much, but not enough to finish off any kills here. They are going to be going back in again, and it does end up going over to Team YCMYCAST3. If they keep fighting here, this Punisher could end up helping the fight as well, but Kira ends up going down for it. And it looks like yet another objective goes over to Team YCMYCAST3, and they do not push with it. So this is going to be another free clear for the team of One More Fight. This one didn't even get over the tower and isn't going to even get the front wall, even though it is an arcane Punisher, one of the most menacing Punishers there are for sieging. Not only that, but they're going to be picking up their camps as well. So I would say that that is an excellent defense for Team One More Fight. Team YCMYCAST3 is trying to position for the Bruisers, expecting them to be on them, but they were actually on both of the other camps. Yumi is going to be trying to force down the rest of this tower up here, and she does manage to get it with another Q. Oh, nope. It has to get one more in, and she's going to finally get it. Meanwhile, they're going to be trading for one of their own on bottom lane. That camp pushing in with both Ajayna and Raynor and Lily helping it along. Nothing you can really do much there. This Phoenix is trying to go in for a flank, but it was actually a bait and ends up going down to the slide, followed up by the Jaina damage. Oh, the Raynor's actually the one that ended up finishing him off. So once again, one more time, proving that they understand how to deal with the map whenever they have an advantage. Getting everything pushed as hard as they can, never letting up on Team YCMYCAST3. I just realized, are you even getting game audio? I don't know if there's any game audio. I don't see anything going in. Let me pause this real quick. Headphones. Okay. I am so sorry, team. We had no game audio that entire time. I'm definitely working on my audio issues, but if it's not one thing, it's usually another. Alright, so Team YCMYCAST3 is going to be doing their bruisers again. Meanwhile, one more time it's going to be just pushing down this fort, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot that Team YCMYCAST3 can do about it. Let's actually go ahead and turn that down some as well. Oh well, hold on. Let's do it over here. Oh, that was too much. Okay, there we go. Oh, and I'm so sorry. So many ults going down, but that's the Diablo, and that's Soul's reset as well, so he's going to come back with being a lot more squishy than he was before. Team one more time is using this Bruiser camp to push down this fort, getting prepared for this objective. Nisha's taking a lot of damage, but she manages to get out of there okay, and they are going to walk away with a fort down, and so now it is the map is even up on the top lane where this objective is, and we'll see if they can finally get an objective for themselves and do something with it. It looks like Team YCMYCAST3 is not even opting for this fight. Looks like they just went to clear because, as you can see, Team One More Time is now at a 16 talent tier advantage. That means that they have one more talent than their enemy teams, which means they are going to be able to control fights a lot better usually. Especially since we've got some good power spikes here from quite a few of the members of Team One More Time. Or One More Fight. Daft Punk. One more time. So we've got a Frozen Punisher pushing top, and it looks like they were trying to get as much as they could on the map outside of that. They did manage to get both camps, but are not going to be pushing with either of it, as they have to come back and defend for this. Let's see how they pull it over. It looks like it ends up going on the Li Mei first. She's taking a lot of damage from that Punisher, and it's going down quite as fast as well. There's another leap onto the Diablo, the correct target this time, and that is a dragon to make sure that they back off, and it looks like one more fight is not going to take that fight. And they're like, you go ahead and pop that dragon, we'll just go somewhere else. They do have a bottom camp to clear that is going to be taking, it did take the bottom towers, but it's not going to do anything onto this fort, just a little chunk of damage. Both teams just clearing up waves now, looking for somebody who's out of position in order to get those picks going. Get some staggered deaths if possible. Mega Milk is playing this Kira fairly well, but it seems to have a lot of that solo laner mentality of usually being able to be a lot more tanky. Hopefully does not end up getting caught out because of it. Team does manage to stick together safely enough. Forces them to back off. And one more fight is going to be going for their bruisers to try and take those and get some more pressure with them. Now, if they take it right away, there's not really much that they can do with it. I think it's just going to end up getting free cleared, and it looks like that is what they're going to do. It'd be nice if they would hold it for the objective and just bait the other team out for it. With it being the only objective on the map at the time, it would be a natural just thing to have the enemy team try to escape it out. But both teams are on the same talent tier advantage, and there is another level and a half for Team One More to fight before they get that advantage again, so they are not looking for any aggressive fights. Nobody wants to die before the objective even starts and will end up costing their team the game. So it looks like they're going to be taking theirs early as well, and because of the lack of showing on this map, one more fight is going to be pushing in this bottom keep. It looks like they got one tower, but they're going to back off before getting that second one as they see their team is gone. Oh, they did end up getting the second tower. Just trying to make sure everything's going. They actually didn't... Wow, wait. They didn't clear the top wave because they were trying to protect bottom keep so much, so they ended up losing it to that wave and the fort, the bruisers. They took their camp, and it ended up not having a wave with them either, so that's just going to get a free clear as well. Most likely they were just taking it to make sure that the other team could not take it for themselves. Somehow the core is under attack with no damage, but okay. And here we go. This is what I was talking about. The objective is now up, and Team One More Fight is going to be looking to collect that last bit of experience to get to level 20. They're actually kind of look like they're positioning to try to end. No, it looks like they're actually going to be just working to get that talent and then rotate in, but they're going to be pretty late to this. They do have a level 20 advantage, but that is 30 skeletal defenders already over to level 27. Oh, okay. There we go. So we'll see if they can take it now. Team YCMYCAST3 doesn't really want to take this fight, but oh, it looks like they do. I was wrong. The Alexstrasza goes in, and they're going to be trying to finish this off, but that's a ring that goes down and locks everybody in place, and Diablo goes out to even more people in place. The Alexstrasza goes up and try to save him. The mosh pit gets interrupted, but the Diablo is still stuck there for some reason and ends up going down. That was quite unfortunate. A lot of ults there, and there goes another Nisha Bear. And it looks like, even though they showed up late, they are going to be able to take this for themselves. Yep, they managed to get it. And that's already got a keep that's being pressured by a full camp. That he's not dead yet. And there he goes. but it looks like they're pressuring mid instead. Nope. Okay, they are going, in fact, bottom, and hopefully trying to get this double camp pressure in mid to force some defense there so that they can hard push here. This is an arcane Punisher, so it's going to be doing a lot of chip damage. He does end up jumping onto the Phoenix, who has a lot of shield, and that's going to be an unstoppable onto the Kira, dropping her off of her W, and she is in a terrible position because of it. That cleanse was on point and wonderful to counter that Kira. This new core is getting everybody rooted, but it's going down slowly. The Punisher is still at a good amount of health, and that's a lot of damage onto Diablo, but he's going to be okay for now. And then he's still alive, finally does go down, as does the Lili, but that is not enough defense. The core goes down, and GG's one more fight for your 2-0 victory in the best of 3 series. Alright. I'm gonna remember this time. We have damages and stuff. Oh, I need to get rid of this text. Oh, okay, good. It's disappearing. Wow. So that was a very low killing fight, but once again, Team One More Fight showing that they understand how to control the map and have macro advantage onto pushing in. It is in fact killing the core that wins you games, not killing people. Although killing people does always help. So we take a look at these final builds here. We had, as you can see, a lot of the same normal stuff. Lily ended up taking that Let's Go cleanse that helped against those Kira swing arounds, whatever those are called. We actually even had a hunter-gatherer quest completed. Oh, wait. Oh, that's not the same as what I was thinking of. Oh, never mind. Alright. GG's teams. Congratulations again to Team One More Fight on their 2-0 victory. And here's one more look at those maps to see what happened. We had YCMYCAST3 banning out Dragonshire Brax's Holdout, One More Fight banning out Towers of Doom, Cursed Hollow, and they were playing on Tomb of the Spider Queen and Infernal Shrines, both won by Team One More Fight. Very well done, teams. I think that was both games. YCMYCAST3 was actually doing okay at getting the objectives and being on time for them to and getting advantages for themselves, but they weren't able to do anything with them. That was the biggest problem, and Team One More Fight just always had the defense down and was able to just nullify anything YCMYCAST3 was trying to do. We did have quite a few scrappy fights, but in the end, One More Fight was just able to come out on top. Alright. So thank you again for everyone for coming to see the cast for NGS. This was, I'm having a lot of fun doing these casts. I again apologize for all the quality issues. I'm trying to work on it. But we'll see where we go from here. We're still going to be doing expect some more replay casts coming up. I do see a lot of them getting filled up in the Discord, so I might take some time and just pull up a bunch of them, maybe do quite a few. Usually the weekend works best for me, but I can definitely do some weekdays as well. Hopefully one day I'll actually be on a regular cast. So again, if you don't know who I am Plur Ninja. You can also find me as Plur Ninja TV on Twitter. I don't go on there very often, but you'll see when I go live, it's very random. And like I said at the beginning, please go support NGS. They are a wonderful group of people. NexusGaming.org is how you find them. I'll go ahead and even put that in the chat as well. just make sure that is the correct way I spell things, because I am a terrible speller. There we go. Alright, that's probably not going to show up in the VOD, but that's okay.